Welcome to the diversity and inclusion of the future, where moving your business forward means dealing with unexpected changes, disrupted workplaces, and emotional stress. I'm Deborah Levine, a Forbes magazine diversity and inclusion trailblazer, and I will be your guide through this COVID-19 perfect storm so that you can be successful through it and not be shipwrecked by it. In my 33 years of trailblazing in the diversity field, I've seen multiple changes in terminology, technology, programs, philosophy, but COVID-19 presents us with an unprecedented need to reevaluate our goals and our strategies to make the most of the assets we gain from diversity and minimize the fear that the term diversity can often generate. This is not going to be a temporary pause. Just like after 9/11, these are major changes that we need to make. And it is my mission and goal to assist organizations and their leaders to strive and thrive, not just by chance, but systematically. A system that embraces diversity, boosts emotional intelligence, makes our decision-making smarter, and our collaborations more creative and innovative, which is what we are going to be needing in this unpredictable future. My matrix model management system is comprised of cultural anthropology and urban planning theories and practical applications that can reconfigure our thinking and give power to our neural net that processes big data quickly and efficiently. So let's take a look at the tools of the matrix model management system and see what they provide to help us through this time successfully and productively. COVID-19 has turned our world upside down, and the future is bound to be messy. But chaos theory teaches us that the most creative and innovative place in the universe is at the edge of chaos, and that's where we are today. Now, if we look at the traditional categories of diversity, we see the familiar ones of race and ethnicity, gender, generation, and religion, and there are many more, we know that. If we look at what the culture map tells us from cultural anthropology, there is an amazing intersectionality of those categories, and there always has been. This is a complex, diverse world. You see the social system, which carries the themes of education and politics, healthcare, and economics that we all resonate to. But the situation changes for every detail that you add with the geography and the demographics and the belief system. That's what intersectionality has always been. But today, when we add new categories for the future, we're going to have many more information, data-driven situations than we've had in the past regarding technology and time zones, family, wellness, personalities, and emotions. And so that will make our culture map look much more complex also. And the diversity much more so than ever. Now, if we look at this closely, right, we can see that they're going to have an issue in digesting all this information, especially when it comes to a highly emotional environment that we are experiencing today. So if we look at the leadership during this emotional time, emotional intelligence is going to be key. The first element of the 7-part strategy for leaders, L, is listen. We are going to need to listen more carefully to everyone in the workforce, in the workplace, the customers, the vendors. It's going to be part of our leadership skills. Empathize. We will need to empathize more consistently to show that we care about people. And we will need to do it in a way that is culturally competent. And accept change. What does that mean? It means don't expect perfection. And if there's a problem, you might want to buy time to think about it. Accept the new situation is going to be a difficult one. So design your communication by choosing words carefully and understand the cross-cultural impact of them so that members of your team don't see you as unaware or insensitive. And then E, elevate. Elevate your authenticity. Make it personal. Allow others to make it personal. You're going to want to ask how they are, how their families are, and they may ask you. This is what the future is going to bring. Next, R, for reason. Reason instead of reaction. Stay calm. Be patient. This is what's going to get you much further than reacting emotionally. And that is going to be part of your emotional intelligence. And finally, S, for storytelling, sharing your stories. This will engage positively and avoid some of the personality conflicts and minimize some culture clashes because people will be looking at each other as fellow human beings in a difficult situation. Now, if you look at all of them together, the leader's 7-part strategy, I'm going to ask you to choose one of them as that which is most important and vital to you. Think about it. Now, choose what is second in that list of importance. And the reason I am asking this is because by putting numbers and priorities to our emotions, we start to build an emotion barometer within ourselves. And that's what we're going to be needing going forward and dealing with our workforce and teams, customers in this difficult time, an emotion barometer. The matrix model management system has 4 different ways in which to look at the neurocommunication angle of what's going to be needed and the conscious choices that must be made. If you look at the system itself, you'll see it has 4 matrices. 1 for neurocommunication, 2 for emotional intelligence, 3 for smart decision making, and 4 for planning, both short and long term. By going through each one of these in the Matrix Toolkit in sequence, you will be rebooting your brain. You will be making your ability to process big data much better and much more able to handle what is coming. To take a look at one of these matrices, the storytelling neurocommunication matrix, you'll get an idea of what it looks like to start the learning process. Here we have a matrix that gives you many dimensions of storytelling, which we must look at as a science, not just an art. And in doing so, we can customize this template for multiple situations. And with practice, that template will be embedded in your mind so that you can use it effectively for diverse teams, situations, customers, and make sure that they understand not just what you're trying to sell them, but what you stand for and what they mean to you. If you can picture yourself as a storyteller, you started on the journey. Part of the storytelling beauty is the use of cultural expressions, arts, and music. Take, for example, this wonderful song, Times They Are A-Changin' by Pete Seeger. Very memorable. It is kept in people's minds for decades. And why is that? There's a neuroscience to it. And you can learn how to use that to your advantage and to your team's advantage. So why don't you think about it as come gather around people wherever you roam and admit that the waters around you have grown. And look at what we're going to do as the times are a-changin'. The next steps is a course, a series of 4 webinars for diversity and inclusion of the future. I hope you will join me. I look forward to it. And I hope you do too, because we have tools for you to be successful in the future, which is so unpredictable at this time. Thank you.